Yes. So, welcome and thank you so much for being here today. So, this is our third event of the Meet the Bossless Organizations series. Okay, so I'm Hugo Lopes. I'm one of the co-founders of Jobs with No Boss. So, Dunia Reverter will not be here with us today. She was not able to be here, but we have someone else from the team. Stefano, I don't know if you can say hi. So Stefano joined the team like
Hi, everyone.
I don't know, 6 months ago, no, Stefano? So we also were having this conversation before we just started with, we are coming from many different parts of the world. Stefano is Italian, living in Switzerland. He's a professor in business schools and right now in Switzerland, no, and also passionate and researcher about progressive and bossless organizations. So, but today our main guests also will be hosting the session are Naska and Nicolás. So I will just, in a moment, I will spotlight you here in Zoom. And so just to give you a very small introduction. So we met Camplight, the organization Camplight, when we were running our crowdfunding campaign. So Camplight contacted us because they wanted to support us. I had met one of the co-founders of Camplight many years ago in a sociocracy training in Bulgaria, in Sofia. And when we talked with Camplight, we became aware that they were part of this big network of software technological cooperatives all around the world, a global network of about 80 cooperatives all around the world, no? And so we thought, well, there was this parallel world, at least I was not aware of, no? And we thought that this was really meaningful and that we should have them, no, in this conversation. So Nicolás is from another cooperative, I believe, which is called Ficus. So they are here in at least in 3 different roles, no? So representing your own organizations as co-owners of these cooperatives, and also as members of Patio, this wider network, no, of cooperatives. So Naska and Nicolás, can you briefly introduce yourselves? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Hugo, and hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really excited every time that we talk about cooperativism and how we make our space better for everyone to participate and to develop a meaningful business. So my name is Naska. I'm originally from Bulgaria. We've started a co-op 12 years ago that is called Camplight. And my role is focused on business development, partners relations, community building. And we have this vision of evolving human collaboration through software. And we've been asking ourselves, okay, how this is possible, how we can evolve the human collaboration using software by building a business that is human-centered, business that is co-owned by each member of the company, and create this vision of how we make an impact. And as Hugo said, inspired by this vision of collaboration, we decided to reach out and to reach other cooperatives around the world. So we really quickly established a community of cooperatives that are doing software. So we believe today with Nico, we will share more about it, how we believe the collaboration will reach to a bigger impact, and we prove that with the community that we are building called Patio. And that's a quick introduction from my side. Maybe Nico, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Hugo. Yeah, my name is Nicolás. I'm from Ficus, a tech worker co-op from Argentina. And I've been working in the social economy sector. This is how we call the sector here in Argentina, at least. Like by working at my co-op. We founded the Ficus 13 years ago, more or less. And the reason why we founded a cooperative instead of a traditional company is that it was because we wanted not to reproduce what we didn't like about traditional companies. We wanted to create something different. And as we found this cooperative model, we really felt that we could build something really nice, and things like a company that could reflect our values. So as the time went by, I kept developing software within the co-op, and then I started working in the commercial area of the cooperative, and also I'm a project manager as well. So I've been working in the cooperative and trying to build new relationships with other co-ops. And in this way, we started 1 year after we founded Ficus, we founded Patio, that is the local network of tech worker co-ops from Argentina. And 5 years ago, we with other co-ops, we founded Patio. That is the global network of tech worker co-ops, and we are going to share more about it with Naska today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So at least you referred like to 3 levels, no? So there's like a network of cooperatives in South America, I believe, and then this Patio, which is a global network, no?
Yeah, actually, yeah, you have like different levels. The one I was talking about, that is a local one, is called Factic. I will share the link later in the chat. Yeah, and that is the Federation of Worker Co-ops from Argentina. It's not from South America, is specifically from Argentina. And as we had this experience of building a local network, we got organized, and we understood how to create a local network, but we didn't know about how to scale that up in order to be in different places and to collaborate with other co-ops in other parts of the world. We didn't know about the challenges that we were going to face by doing that, because we met cooperatives from different parts of the world with other cultures. So we had a lot of work there to do. Yes, but I was referring to the local federation. So that's the second level, and the third level could be like Patio, that is a global network.
Okay, thank you so much. I will also invite anyone that has questions to put them on the chat. Later, I don't know, we will be talking about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes at most, and then we'll have an open discussion as well. But you can just share also your questions on the chat. We'll be answering them, no? And during our conversation, I don't know, maybe we can start to describe, I don't know, probably in the mindset of many people, no? We're not used to think about cooperatives of young people developing software. It's not our prototype of maybe a cooperative. So I don't know, maybe you can start by sharing a little bit about your own organizations, no? What do you do? How it is to be part of one of these cooperatives? I don't know. Just creating the space now for you to share.
Yes, I think it's a good idea to start. What is a cooperative? If people who are here, they're not familiar with the concept of cooperativism. So we are a cooperative, which means it's a worker-owned organization, and every member of the cooperative is a co-owner of the cooperative. So in our case in Bulgaria, we are 17 people that are co-owners of the business, and we work with another 35 people that are members of the cooperative, but they are not part of the co-owners team. So people are asking me, okay, what is the difference with normal organization and cooperatives? It's the decision-making. It's a way that we created dynamic where all participants can have a vote, can have a voice, and we can make decisions together. What is the direction of the business we would like to develop? So keeping that in mind, it's automatically switched the focus to, okay, the importance here is to hear the opinion of everybody, not just to have 2-3 people who own the decision-making process. Having said that, it's on a cooperative level what we do in Camplight, and we are the only technical cooperative in Bulgaria. So in our case, I'm currently now in Buenos Aires because we truly believe that we had to start this collaboration on an international level, and it's really important when you have a vision, not just to talk about it, but to go and build those connections face to face. And it's fascinating how developed is cooperativism in one part of the world, and in the other part, they don't know what you're talking about when you say collaboration and be part of the co-owners team. So for me, feels like having the space, creating the environment where people can have the chance to reach next level of understanding how a business is run, next level of skill sets that this person can achieve, and create really interesting dynamics, how people interact between each other in a really safe, trustful and transparent environment. And many people are saying to me, okay, Naska, is it possible? How it's possible that 20 people you make one decision? Is it taking forever? It's no. Once you find people who are aligned towards a business goal or in general the direction that you want to develop your business, it's quite straightforward. And for me, feels great that people are empowered to be their better version with this kind of organization because they don't have layers or limitations. They just need to build the right mindset, how they can take one, let's say, challenge and turn it into potential. And here, one of the things that I will finish my point of view is we have a lot of challenges that we face on a daily basis. And the difference is that we sit together and we solve the challenges. We don't just ask a question and we wait someone to give us an answer. And we do it as a team, and it really feels like collaboration. What about you, Nico?
Yeah, I totally agree with what you said, and I would like to add that I started as a freelancer, and I really like to manage my own time, to make my own decisions. I was feeling like free, after working in different companies, like this feeling of having like no bosses and like making my own strategies. I really liked that feeling, but at the same time I was feeling lonely, like I was kind of vulnerable because for example, if I had to negotiate something with a client, I was alone. I didn't have someone to talk about strategies. For example, if my project ended up, then I didn't have any jobs at all, and I had to like look for another project by my own. And I didn't have someone to also like be challenging me to I don't know, to evolve professionally, let's say. So like after like having this kind of situations in which I said, okay, maybe it's better to work with someone else, to team up or to start thinking another way. I found the cooperative model with other partners, and like as soon as we learned about this, we started this journey. And if you ask me, the cooperative model, what I like about it, even though sometimes it's quite hard to make decisions if you don't have the proper frameworks or the proper tools or the proper mindset, let's say, I think it's really good because you can like create different groups in order to make decisions and to be sure that everyone can add value based on their personalities or based on the, I don't know, the expertise, let's say, and you can be really efficient. What I'm trying to say is that the fact that you don't have a boss, it doesn't mean that you can have different roles within the co-op, run efficiently like the business, you know. So talking more about the way in which we get organized, we have each member is a partner of the co-op, is co-owner, is an owner of the co-op. They can they have one vote every time we make a decision. It's not that we are constantly making decisions on a daily basis about everything. We have groups that take care about specific things, and then when we have to make really like tough decisions or strategic ones, we get together, we create during these assemblies that we have, we make decisions, and everyone has one vote and has the chance to say what they think, and then to vote. So in this way, we run the company like horizontally with this democratic way to present things, and this creates a challenge for you as well, because you need to develop some skills about communicating with others, to like working as a team, and different things that you need to maybe polish about yourself. So this is basically how we run our companies. So each one has a role, and we know how to play as a team. This is more or less. I don't know if you have any questions about it.
Yeah, there are emerging a couple of questions on the chat. Stefano.
Nico, I have a follow-up question just on the software part. So I was curious if you could give us your or opinion of how the software is contributing to a cooperative, you know? So the fact that your guys working on building software, on creating collaboration, so that I guess the software can help or in many different ways. So I was curious a little bit if you can, and as you said, you know, it's when we are thinking about cooperative, probably the first thing that people don't think is a software company. So I was wondering if you can maybe from your experience, because you were working independently as a freelancer before, what do you think is particularly unique about for a cooperative that is working on software?
Okay, even though you asked me, I will ask Naska to help me with the answer, because maybe we have different point of view. So I will start, and then if you want, you can continue. If you ask me, like I see different like perspectives or approaches to this answer that I'm going to provide. On the one hand, you have like the way we make a business. We are worker co-ops, so we develop software. So based on the way we develop that software, that is with values, taking care about the people, going through different digital transformation processes, taking care about not only about the people and the technology itself, but also everything as a whole. We can create different strategies to build software, you know? So for example, we have a really good idea and we see a need there. So maybe I will call Camplight as Ficus, and I will tell them, hey, we need to team up in order to build this. So maybe the investment there, it will be split by 2, you know, and the risk will be also split by 2. So in this way, we can build software with this cooperative perspective, collaborating with others, and taking care about the people and the processes at the same time. So this is maybe one perspective of the thing. The other could be like software specifically for collaboration, you know? So for example, as we were mentioning, like we run the business making decisions on the daily basis. And we are maybe there are a lot of huge cooperatives. In this case, my co-op, we are 13 members nowadays, so we are not a lot, but it can get complicated when you have to make a decision that is really tough, you know? So we can have different like softwares. For example, there is one that we use, it's called Lumio. It was developed by a co-op, and we use this software in order to make decisions, in order for them to be transparent and to be sure that everyone, no matter like their personality, because sometimes you have strong personalities, you have people that they don't like talking, but maybe they like thinking and then giving their point of view. So like the whole decision, like, or the process of making a decision, maybe sometimes it could be kind of tricky. So if you create the processes, and then on the top of a platform, a digital platform, you can run your business in this collaborative way. So in this way, we can have different tools that can help us to run our business in this way. So this, like, these two perspectives, on the top of that, we also mentioned that we like building software, but we like to build software with our values. And that is, for example, we don't exploit data, we don't sell the data to others, we take care about privacy, we take care about the people, you know? So this is like more or less the answer that I have. I don't know, Naska, if you want to provide another approach, or maybe, I don't know, you have another idea.
Maybe a quick one, because I started with evolving human collaboration through software. So that's why now we are going to talk about modern way how we perceive cooperatives, because we are maybe a middle age of 35 years old software cooperatives that are using those software products in order to evolve the collaboration between us. Imagine we even build software that are measuring emotional intelligence in teams, that help people have a better instrument, how to give feedback to each other, how to understand better each other. So we try to combine this human approach with, okay, how the technologies, even AI, how everything that is going on nowadays help us be there and communicate and get each other better.
I would like, just before we have a couple of questions. Okay, we have one from Anna, which it's about the main challenges, and so maybe we can have a space for this. Okay, afterwards we have a couple of questions from Joe about the decision-making process, and another thing that is I think is quite relevant. It's about the process of joining one of these organizations, how to become a member, how to become a co-owner, and how do you leave one of these organizations as well, or how to leave the co-op. And just before maybe getting into this, I would just like to share. So we have a couple of cooperatives in Jobs with No Boss. No, so one of them. So I don't know if everyone knows. So, and with different sizes. No, and because you were telling the story, so Nicolás was sharing the story about someone who was a self-employee and then felt the need to become part of an organization, not but we have different cases. So for instance, there's the case of Lancor. So it's a factory in the Basque country. So they were a private limited company, and so they did the transition to self-management, and they became a cooperative in the process many years ago already. We also have Igalia. I don't know, Igalia is also a part of Patio, no? So I don't know if they are a member. Igalia is also in Jobs with No Boss, and they I don't know, the latest numbers that I know that are from 2021, they were already more than 100 people, not like 2 years ago. So we have and they are a software, I think, cooperative as well, no? And with different dimensions, different sizes. So it's just to highlight these two things. And so maybe, I don't know, Naska, Nicolás, you can give us and also share with whoever is listening and would like to join one of these organizations, no? How is it like, no? How can you become a member, and how is it, no? How's the onboarding process? How do you become a co-owner? How do you start to make decisions together, no?
I can maybe combine a few of the questions with my answer. So, of course, you don't become straightforward part of the co-owners team because it's needed a particular mindset to run a business, to be the co-owner of the business. And by default, we don't necessarily have this mindset. So what we usually do is to create a collaboration with the person that is a potential new joiner. And we work together for, let's say, 3 to 6 months. So we identify if there is a mutual fit. If we say yes, both sides, because it's not just we decide if he's a good fit, but also the potential joiners decide if this is a good space for them. So a process of validating that is the first step. Then they said, yes, we join, we become part. And then to answer the question that Joao asked, we had a situation where the cooperative was the first job of one of our co-owners. He was around 26, 27 years old. And he said, guys, I need to leave because I want to go in a traditional company and feel what is to be a manager, because I just know collaboration and I want to have a team under me that is, I'm leading the team. 2 years later, this person came back to Camplight and he said, I don't want to leave ever again because it doesn't work. Like this human-centered approach, it's not there. You're an employee with a particular employee number, a salary there, and maybe they don't necessarily know who you really are, how do you feel, and how you can achieve your better version. So now this person is back, and for us, it's a really good example how the model works. And I can say it's not for everyone because sometimes we offer people that collaborate with us to join the co-owners team, but they say, no, I don't want additional overhead on the top of my regular job because I have a project, I have a partner, I don't want to make decisions. I'm okay with whatever you decide, guys, and I'm okay to work in your setup. So we also have this scenario, and again, it's really what is the mindset of the people to be part of the co-owners team. And I'll finish my answer with what are the challenges. So we all have really tricky discussions. It's not just pink and roses and flowers. Sometimes it's a lot of discussions. And for me, it's both challenge and also advantage that we create a space where people can be on the same page, but it can take a while. Sometimes a topic can go up to 6 months of discussion. So a challenge can be sometimes how we get aligned with our skill sets. So we use the instruments to achieve the same pace of thinking. That's why we go to the workshops that Hugo is organizing, and we learn what is nonviolent communication. We learn what is active listening. We learn what is to be part of a feedback session that is not harming, but actually really productive. Things that are common sense, but when you put them in practice, it's different. So sometimes can be challenges. What are the right instruments we use in order to get on the same page as the business owners? That can be my short answer to the few of the questions. Nico, if you can add something else.
Yes, I have a lot of things to share. Well, basically I'm from Argentina and I'm used to talk a lot. Yeah. So like if you give me space, I will talk a lot. So first related to the previous question that was more like a question related to technology and the way we can change things. I keep thinking about this answer, and I will go one step back, and is we also have this approach in which we first think, do we need this technology? You know, because what we see like that is happening with our society is that the huge companies, they are producing this technology, pursuing like these economic results, and then when we have that technology as a society, then we start thinking, okay, now that we have it, how should we use this? You know. And we start like inventing and trying to figure out how to apply this to real problems that we need to face as a society. And we start like putting our creativity there. But maybe the question or the way to produce technology is not that way, you know, because for example, we are now with AI, and we are thinking about what should we do with AI, you know, and maybe the huge companies that create the AI, they know what they are pursuing, but then we have the AI and we don't know, okay, let's create like let's apply AI on this, on that, but maybe we have other bigger issues to solve. So each time someone comes to us and they say, I want to create something like this and that using AI, the first thing that we do, instead of charging them a lot of money and building whatever they want, we first try to give our honest opinion on that and say, maybe you don't need AI here, maybe you don't even need technology here, you need just to do this and this, order this process, and that's it, you know. So this is another human like center approach, you know. We are not constantly pursuing money, we are also trying to accompany people during these digital transformation processes. This is one thing I wanted to add related to the previous question. And yeah, like related to this question about the challenges that we have, I really like resonate with Naska. This issue of being of taking care about people and creating these companies that are structured but are like not hard in order to expose like the people to adapt to people's life. Actually, when I started Ficus, it was 14 years ago. I wasn't the same. I needed to move from the city. I wanted a different life, you know, and the cooperative, like a company, like my process, my life, because we are people, we are not machines, you know. So you need to constantly be building this company that is efficient and is producing something as professionals, but at the same time, you need to take care about people. So this is one of the challenges that I detect, you know, and at the same time, you need to be making decisions and to be sure that there are roles and people know what are other expecting from you, you know, if you are playing this role, and what you should be expecting from the cooperative or the company itself. Another thing that I wanted to mention is related to, I don't know if we have this translation, but here in Argentina, we call them fábricas recuperadas. They are like reclaimed factories. In 2001, we had a huge crisis. We are going through another huge crisis. Sadly, we are getting used to that in Argentina, but we had this huge crisis, and a lot of factories, they were bankrupt, and the workers there, they had to make a decision. They had to say, okay, we will go home and we will try to struggle to get another job, or we will fight for our job. You know, we will fight for the things that we have been building, like putting our lives there. So if you ask me, like, the cooperative model needs to make you need to make a choice, you know, you choose this path, you choose to build things in this way, you know. So here in Argentina, we have a huge, like, a really strong movement about these reclaimed factories, and they are a really good example to us of how you can like making a choice and to getting organized and to taking ownership of your work. Like how you can achieve really difficult goals altogether. For me, they are a really good example. So I wanted to point that out. There is a documentary that shows the first reclaimed factory in Argentina. It's really nice. Then I will try to look for it and I will share it with the network, because I think it's something you should see if you like this kind of companies. I think that's it. If you have any other question.
Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you.
I have a couple of questions that maybe relate with some of the other questions that are here in the chat. It's about, I don't know, for instance, regarding the way you are in Patio, you are 80 cooperatives. Is there any, do you have any guide on recommendations on how to structure the cooperatives, at least practices that people can bring to a cooperative or to an organization? Do you have also practices, common practices regarding the decision-making processes or the way you structure the organizations? Because I was thinking about some of the cases that I know in the Basque Country, for instance, they structure their cooperatives around like two circles. One is more strategic, and the other one is more operational. They call it the equipo de compromiso, equipo de pilotaje. And so, and so some of the organizations that operate in this space, they have like a similar structure. And so when I was looking at some of the question, for instance, from some of the questions, you know, from Anna, is there any kind of common denominator between these 80 organizations, or each one of you have come to your own model, way of getting to decisions together, collaborating, or do you have some guidelines and common practices?
Thank you. It's a really good question, because it's tricky how you create an environment of more than 1,500 people where they can collaborate effectively. So it's been a question that we are tackling for 3 years. We started as identifying people who are willing to be more active, because in the beginning was more volunteering work. We cannot force people to do work because it's volunteering work. And then I can say that we have around 30 people that are active. They are part of different co-ops from many countries. And those 30 people are the active members. There's a number of people that are joining for a period of time. They help with some tasks, but they are not necessarily active all the time. How we structure the community based on sociocracy best practices, we decided to divide the community into circles. So each circle has responsibilities and commitments towards the community. And for example, there is an internal organization circle, business development circle, outreach and communication circle, and the dynamics are really distributed. We have one big circle that is coordination, and we try to stay aligned towards the goals of the year we have. So each circle can contribute with the circle-specific activities towards meeting the general goals for the entire community. And here is the interesting part, how we create this guidance. We write a lot of documents that we put there as proposals. People iterate on the documents. So basically, at the end of the day, we co-create a process that works towards our goals for the community. And it's a lot connected with the decision making. We use consent decision making, which means that we ask for the community for opinions from the community if people are happy enough to give it a try that way, because we are mindful that nothing can be perfect, and we have even different expectations. What is a good work? What is a satisfying result? We want to land on the same space that we are okay to give it a try, a process to go in a particular direction. And I can answer that now we are in the time where we put every process in written. It's going to be public really soon. And our end goal is to be a starting point for cooperatives to take those best practice, take whatever works in their scenarios and implement those best practice. I can say that some of the companies, they even didn't know how to set the goals for the year. What are the workshops they need to go through in order to have objectives and key results that are really important? So we have this knowledge, we share it, and now we have a really good percentage of adoption and a feedback from cooperatives that works great, and we need to keep promoting such kind of processes and materials. So the answer is yes, we have, and we are in the process of making them public.
Okay, and you are talking about Patio. You're talking about the network of cooperatives, no? So,
yes.
And because Joe has a question, no? He says I'm a little bit lost. When you were talking about this right now, you're talking about the collaboration between the 80 cooperatives, no? Does Patio exist as a legal entity? Are you a legal entity in Patio? And my former question, was about if you have guidelines for the cooperatives, no, not for a common structure for how to operate as a cooperative, okay, and not as Patio as a network of organizations. And so I don't know if the question from Joe goes in the same direction, but
yeah.
okay, yeah, can you comment?
I can try
on this?
to.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Or-
have guidebooks, Joe, for each of our cooperatives because we have different approach. How it's what is the process to get invited? Is it an invite only, or you can apply and have a different dynamic to join the community? So I was answering your questions connected with the cooperatives, and I just shared that we do this best practice based on the community level. So two different things. On a cooperative level, based on the country, the culture, or the process we have, it's one dynamic. But in Patio, we try to make this unified best practices that are a combination of all the approaches we have in our cooperatives.
Okay. And the cooperatives are obviously legal entities with the cooperative format, no?
That's
And
right.
Patio, is it a association? Is there a
Yeah.
legal?
Yes, we are not registered yet. This is the goal for late this year or early next year, so we can establish a federation or a community that has some legal interpretation, but still we are not here. We are not there yet.
Okay, thank you. And Nicolás, you are adding something on this?
Yeah, like actually, I think they are really good questions because those are things that happened to us and that we needed to shape a little bit. For example, it's not the same to be a cooperative in Argentina than being a cooperative in Japan. For example, we have cooperatives in Japan, in Russia, in Germany, in Turkey, I don't know, like all over the world. So it's not the same. The legal frame is not the same. So, for example, here in Argentina, you can't, if you are a worker co-op, you can't work directly with a worker without being that worker, for example, part of your co-op. So this led us to start working with other co-ops and to create these workflows to share projects. So like this is an example of something that happened to us, and like the legal framework made us change the way we collaborated among each other. So this led us to create a local network because we could share projects, and we started building these commercial strategies all together. So this is a particular case in which I can like show you that here we have a framework, but maybe like I don't know, in Japan there are others. So we created this manifest for Patio, that is a global network, to say it doesn't matter where you are. We have a series of things that we will check in order to see if you can fit or not in the global network. So for example, we have this interview. Let's say, for example, you say, okay, I want to join the community. I'm a collective that we like cooperativism and we want to be part of Patio. So we have a like this onboarding process, and as one step of the onboarding process is to like have this interview, and during this interview we try to realize if they are owning the company, if they are owners, if they are making decisions in a transparent way and in a democratic way. And we have this checklist. So once everything is checked, then we can say, okay, you are a cooperative, like you can join the community. So we had to do this because the legal frame is really different in different parts of the world. So this has to do with what Naska was saying. Each one of the co-ops, we have our internal rules, and we have our own decisions, and that is created within the co-ops. Then you have a local federation, for example, in Argentina, the local federation that is FACTIC. It also has like this legal entity. We are a federation. But now currently Patio, as Naska was explaining, is for now it's just a community, and we don't have yet this legal entity. I don't know if it was clear.
Yes, Stefano, you were about to ask something else. Yes,
Yes, Hugo. I just want to go back 1 second to what Nicolás was saying before about the example of a reclaiming factory in Argentina. So what I would like to ask you is, I think that, as you say, I think that's very interesting because there is a process there of taking responsibility, from people working there in situation of emergency or crisis. So there is probably a mind shift that have to happen there with people working there to decide to go to the transition. And so I was curious for both of you to tell us something about this process of taking responsibility. What has been for you, or what you've seen? And, I can imagine, Nicolás, you moving from working as a freelancer to going to a co-op. So probably you already took a lot of responsibility as a freelancer. So from your experience, this process of taking responsibility, what is the pro and the cons of that? You also said that some people don't want to take this responsibility of becoming necessarily co-owner, right? So I was just curious if you can tell us something about that.
Yeah, sure. Actually, thank you, because it was something I wanted to share with you. I think that like being part of a co-op, it means running your own business, and it requires a commitment with business strategies as well. So you are part of a company. This doesn't mean that, for example, you need to be constantly like discussing the business strategies. Maybe you are more a technical person and you don't care, or you don't want to be involved in the strategic decisions. You just want to be building software, and so you want to be involved in the decisions related to like technology, but not related to business. So this is one choice you can make within the co-op. You can say to others, okay, I think I will add more value in this group rather than in this group, and I totally rely and trust you in these strategies. So this is what I wanted to say at the very beginning, like being part of the co-op and being horizontal, it doesn't mean that there are no roles and it's not working as a team, because if not, we are all together making all the decisions, discussing about everything, and you are forced to get involved into topics that you don't mind, or that you are not good at that, So it has also a process in which you have to go through. You have to be really honest with you and with the group, in order to say, okay, I am a really good team player for this and this role, So if I'm sure that, for example, if I'm playing a football match and I'm a really good goalkeeper, but I'm not good, I don't know, scoring goals. Even though I like running and trying to score a goal, I will say, okay, I'm a goalkeeper, I will go there because I will be better for the team if I'm here. Then when we practice, I can go and try to score goals, But when we are in the real match, I will be a better team player, like going like to the position I know I'm good at, So this is this is a long journey, and it has a lot of different steps. It as I said before, it has to do with this like being transparent and be totally honest with yourself and with the team, but also it has to do with like this professional, I don't know, like going through this professional process in which you get to know yourself and you try to polish different skills that you may have, and then you understand what are your boundaries, and okay, this is me, this is what I can add to the team, let's say. So this was for me at least the journey, like going from being a freelancer to being part of the co-op. And one thing that Naska mentioned is this creating these safe spaces where you can talk like honestly with others, like trying to provide feedback and taking care about them, but being transparent and direct in order for let the other person grow professionally. I think is something that is really tricky and really difficult to achieve. But when you achieve that, like I think it's better for the entire company, So it's something that you need to be constantly like polishing and trying to implement within the co-op. This is my answer. On Naska, if you want to share something.
No, that was perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just one thing, for us to be mindful of the time, so we have about 5 minutes to the time limit that we had. There are a couple of questions on the chat that I think relate to practices, and so I would like to make sure that I understood. So you will, in the near future, you will be publishing make public some of these guidelines, including the onboarding process. Is this correct? So maybe some of these questions regarding how you define objectives, if you use OKRs or the rituals that you were telling about defining goals for the year and so on. Some of this stuff will be on the guidelines. Is this correct?
Yes.
Yes. So okay. So I think there's a lot of curiosity about this.
Can I add something related to that, like really quick? Like
yes.
there are, I think, just to like to be more clear about it, you have like different, like when you talk about profits in Patio, I think it has to be more related to how can we like deliver something or work in a project as a community, and how can we team up and scale up the teams. So for example, a company comes and say, I need this this development, and we say, okay, we need different profiles. We don't have it, for example, in my co-op, for example, in Ficus. So I go to Patio and I said, okay, we need to create a team in order to provide an answer to this client. So we team up, we create a team, maybe 2 people from Camplight, 1 developer from Ficus, myself being like a project manager, and we build this team and we start working for the client. In this way, the profits or what we are earning from the project itself, it will be divided in the cooperatives. Then once that money comes into the cooperative, it has to do with the way in which the cooperative itself decided to split the money. If it's taking care about the people, the necessities, if you are a senior, semi-senior, I don't know, there are different things, but it depends on the cooperative itself. I just wanted to mention that. And at the same time, I mentioned something about working together. We created these workflows in order to collaborate, to be more competitive, and it may sound tricky, but like scaling up teams and being bigger and stronger, it gives us the opportunity to keep selling and selling in different countries and creating these international teams to cover, for example, different time zones, to cover different technology stacks, and to be stronger, as companies. So this thing about collaborating and creating teams to develop things is something that we do it, and we do it as part of our commercial strategy.
Okay. So a final question, because I think it's important. It's, as a client, if I need a partner to develop software for me, I would contact Patio, which is the wider network. So to have this, so this would be probably the main point of contact. And also I would like to know if I'm someone that wants to or feels the call to create a co-op, can you support me? If I already have a co-op and would like to join Patio, what should I do? And the other one is, I'm just someone, I'm a Scrum manager, I'm a software developer, and I would like to join these organizations. There are 80 of them. What should I do? So can you give us at least some guidelines, so how you can support, or how can we connect with you?
Yes, the short answer is there is a form on the website that basically you fill in whatever request you have in terms of joining, or you're looking for a tech partner to collaborate. And then we take it from there, your request, and we channel it to the right circle that is taking care of your particular request. And yes, the answer is that we are currently supporting people who would like to make this transformation to cooperatives, and we give all the instruments we have in written and also in some sessions. And we try to create a space where people can benefit from a different way, not just tips and tricks, but also extra work, or a space where they can connect with like-minded people.
Okay. So my proposal was to finish officially our session now. So saying, I will pause the recording, thanking everyone. Thanking everyone. Thank you, Naska. Thank you, Nicolás, Stefano, also, and all you that have been with us today on the session, and inviting you to visit our webpage, on our LinkedIn page with Jobs with No Boss. So we'll keep posting both job opportunities and also other. We have now these expeditions to Bilbao where people can also see live and Bossless organizations, how they operate and connect with other people. And maybe if there's any additional burning question, we can talk a little bit afterwards. Yeah. So thank you so much, Nicolás, Naska.